Rolling over to topic two, let's talk some wrestling because, it's always happening. It's a ever expanding journey. I don't know. NXT Battleground was last night, so I want to quickly go over the results of those matches, what's going on with this whole TNA crossover relationship that seems to be kind of kicking that forbidden door open again, I guess, but on the World Wrestling Entertainment side of things. So Battleground, we kicked it off with the 6-woman ladder match for the first ever NXT Women's North American Championship. Holy crap, that is a mouthful. We had Kalani Jordan going against Sol Ruka, Lash Legend, Michin, Fallon Henley, and Jada Parker. Ladies did a good job. There were some cool soul snatchers by Sol Ruka off of the corner and off of the ladder. Michin took a nasty bump onto the ring ropes off the ladder. Lash getting tossed by everybody onto a ladder suspended in between the announce table and the ring apron. Man, she bounced off of that thing. Hope she's okay. Ladies did a good job. Seemed like tight quarters at the UFC Apex. But overall, Kalani Jordan would come away the winner here. I think that's a smart move. Kalani had a lot of momentum behind her and has been doing a great job since that push with either the not Deadline, what's the match called? Iron Survivor. And even before that, I think she might have had an injury as well, but before that. So cool to see her win it here. It honestly could have gone to anybody. I think Jada was probably the weakest link here, just in terms of me, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of OTM. It seems like they've gotten this push months ago and then just nothing's going on with them. I don't like the gimmick all that much, but that's more of a me thing. Everybody, all 6 of the participants here, they did a fantastic job in the match itself, so can't knock any of that. But cool to see Kalani win that first ever champion. Before we move on to our tag match, I don't know why I forgot. How could I forget our host, Sexy Red? Thank you, lady. Oh my god. Yeah, it was a thing. Hey, I hear she's allegedly. Heard she's a big wrestling fan. Great, whatever. More power to her. I know she hosted the NXT like 2 weeks ago, hosted tonight. She didn't do too much in the night except for dance, to put it one way. She twerked a lot.
That was all she did.
That was all she did. She did some backstage interviews. And then she did a lot of posts the show, like for the website and socials, but yeah, she didn't do much. It was what it is what it is. But moving on, we got the NXT tag titles on the line with Axiom and Nathan Frazier going against the OC. It was the Fast Boys against the Experienced guys. Solid match here. Good to see the OC actually doing something. I know obviously AJ's got his storyline going on with Cody now, so hopefully OC can get back in the swing of things and we can use them. Kind of surprised. I thought maybe OC would win the tag titles here so they could keep working down in NXT, but it does make sense also with the AJ style that they would need, or AJ story, they need to be up there. Not that they couldn't pull double duty. But a solid match overall. Nothing too exciting here. Frazier and Axiom would retain. We did see, what was the move? What did they finish with? I know it's the Phoenix Splash for Frazier, but Axiom hit something else. Oh, it was a big Spanish Fly. Spanish Fly with Carl Anderson. And then he would drag him over to create the opening for Frazier to hit that Phoenix Splash. 1, 2, 3. Was hoping for maybe some more TNA show-ups here, like ABC. But no show-ups here. Damn. So we'll have to hold our breath. Next, it was kind of a tale of 2 pay-per-views here, where it wasn't super exciting until the second half, and this was probably the low point, and that might just be because I don't really care for underground matches. But we got to see NXT Underground. It was Lola Vice going against Shayna Baszler. UFC-type rules. They did fine. There were some punches there, and I get it, because it's wrestling. Not looking good. But there was a lot of good stuff here. They were beating the shit out of each other. A lot of good submissions, if you're into that. We got to see Shayna beat the shit out of some jobbers on the side for some reason because she got mad. They didn't go through the table. I think they were fighting around it. Lola Vice did come out victorious on this one, beating Shayna via knockout. She kind of like did that back swinging back fist. I'm surprised she didn't hit her with the spin hook kick, which is her finisher, but whatever. She won, and then she danced. That's her gimmick. The end. All right, then we got cooking because it was the North American Championship triple threat. It was Oba Femi going against Wesley and Joe Coffey. And hot damn, is Oba Femi a beast? This match was kick-ass. Joe Coffey got the twirly mustache. Didn't realize that was a thing. Good to see Wesley back in there after his injury. And yeah, Oba was insane. Tossing these two blokes around like nobody's business. He pop-up power bombed Joe Coffey at one point. Wesley jumped off the corner trying to do his Meteora like knee strike to the face, and Oba's just like, nope, caught him there, just planted him into the ground. How his back is not re-injured, I don't know. It was nasty. Oba did retain, but it was very back and forth throughout the whole thing. Oh my God, how did I forget about this? So there was a point where I believe Oba Femi was on the top turnbuckle, and he's sitting there, and Wes was punching him, whatever. I believe Coffey got knocked down by Wes, so he's planted on the... No. Was he planted on the ground? He's either planted on the ground or he was standing and was kind of walking back to the corner. But Oba just decided to pick up Wes, and he launched him up into the air, so he's like higher than where even the freaking title was hanging in the ladder match, and Wes comes down and like cross bodies Coffey or splashes on him. Disgusting. During the match, Gallus also did interfere. We did see them beat up on Femi a little bit. Wes would take them out with a dive later on. But like I said, Oba would retain after dunking on both Wesley and Joe Coffey with those insane power bombs. So Oba Femi retains. We would see a little backstage altercation as Wes was trying to be interviewed about his post-match, like how he felt in losing. Gallus, all three members would attack Wesley in the back, and I was like, there's a chance. So, Wes, you're a little outnumbered. Seems like something you'll have to need to get back up. So we'll have to get some rascal action in there. Hopefully we can see Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel make this crossover with the TNA thing and help out their old rascal buddy out. We will have to see. Keep an eye on that. Next one was the NXT Women's Championship. We had Jordynne Grace going against Roxanne Perez. Jordan dominated during this match, as she should. She's huge. She's jacked. So Roxanne had to be a little bit more creative with what she was doing attack style. She had to go quickly. She tried to go for her shoulder and target that a lot with the submission. At some point during some slam that Roxanne did on Jordan, I believe out of the corner, Jordan's ear got ripped up. I don't know if it was an earring that ripped out or whatever, but she was bleeding pretty decently out of that ear lobe area, but that calmed down. But yeah, impressive stuff here by Jordynne Grace. Was hoping she would win it, but shenanigans would rule the day, or rue the day. That's what it's called. As we had Tatum Paxley show up, doing a little creepy gimmick. Ooh, I'm so obsessed with everything, like Bird Person. She's my favorite. And now Bird Person's on the main roster, so I need something new to obsess about. She was obsessing over the NXT Gold. Oh no, she's obsessing over the Knockouts Championship. She takes that from the ringside guy, tries to make a run for it, when, surprise, surprise, another TNA superstar wrestler shows up. Ash by Elegance, the former Dana Brooke, showing up, stopping Tatum Paxley. Jordan comes out, takes the title also away from Tatum Paxley, smacks Tatum in the face with it, then smacks Ash in the face with it, gets back in the ring, tries to set up for the Juggernaut Driver. Roxanne if you blinked and you would have missed it, reversed into a cutter on to Jordan, goes into Pop Rocks and gets the win. 1, 2, 3. I was a little upset with the finish there. I didn't see the reversal at first, so I thought it was just like, what? She just hit her finisher and then nothing out of it. But it was a solid finisher in seeing, a solid reversal in seeing the replay. Just was kind of hoping we'd get a little bit of a shock win here with Jordan, kind of having both titles. Just pop the internet again, get people talking. The two had a solid match. It was great throughout. I was just kind of hoping for a different result selfishly, especially with Jordan Grace having an open challenge coming this Friday as of recording. If you're watching the episode in full, guess what? It's tonight at Against All Odds. She has an open challenge there. That would have been an interesting thing of like Roxanne trying to get a revenge. It looks like they're alluring towards Tatum Paxley being this mystery opponent. I like Tatum. She's getting used more and more. I don't know if she's at the caliber of like, oh my God, it's Tatum Paxley, like to get word going, excitement going, like Jordan showing up 2 weeks ago in NXT out of nowhere. I don't know if that would get people talking. If it's just going to be Ash by Elegance, that's also kind of like, oh, all right, well, that's boring. I want something to be exciting for if we're going to get this crossover. Once again, nothing against Tatum. I just don't know if her star level is up there yet to make a buzz, per se, if she does show up. But it does make sense storyline with her creeping and grasping the belt, being obsessed with it. So it is what it is. Next one was our main event. We had the NXT Championship. We had Trick Williams going against Ethan Page. Excited for Ethan Page being in NXT. He's a fine wrestler. I think he's more strong in the mic department, but I like Ethan a lot. Page getting the title shot after signing his contract a week ago. Ethan taking out Noam Dar, who's kind of being lined up as this number one contender from Metaphor. And then Oro Mensah also from Metaphor. And then revealing himself to be the big attacker and attack Trick Williams. A fine match here, a little bit short. We did see a very impressive table spot as Trick was setting up Ethan for kind of a suplex through the table, but then Ethan was able to reverse it, turn him around, and put Trick through the table himself. Trick dove at one point over the barricade into the audience where Ethan Page was, onto some security guards as well. This finish was a little silly, which is probably where I was like, that was a little bit of a letdown. So Page rocks Trick Williams with the ego's edge or the razor's edge, whatever he's calling it. Commentary no-sells it, which I thought was stupid because as far as I know, that's Ethan's finisher. Trick kicks out at 2, whatever, it happens. And then Page was beating the crap out of him in the corner. The ref pulls him out. He does a little spin move, goes around the ref, starts wailing on him again. Ref pulls him out, blah, blah, blah. We're fighting. We're having words. Ethan turns around. Here comes the Trick shot. Trick Williams run, jump, knee strike. 1, 2, 3. Pins Ethan there, and it is over. It was fine. Like I said, there's nothing super exciting about this match. Not that I had high hopes. Ethan's a fine wrestler, but I wasn't like, it's going to be a banger, Kind of was just hoping for a little bit more here. Nobody showed up at the end except for Sexy Red to go, woo, and dance with Trick with the belt at the end. Apparently, Oro Mensah attacked posts pay-per-view for Ethan Page. So maybe that will be the continuation there. I don't know if they'll get a run back in Canada for Heat Wave coming up. Maybe Ethan will take it there. I really don't know. But all in all, it was fine. Nothing kind of blew it out of the water. I was hoping there was a little bit more crossover TNA-wise, just to make it a little bit more exciting. There was a lot of UFC representation here, as we had people weighing in about the Underground match. We saw a lot of NXT fighters, both current and former, in the crowd watching. I don't know. I wish they did more with the TNA thing. Jordan's impressive, but just want to see what's the extent of this relationship, if it's just a one-off here or whatnot. With the Wesley stuff, with the Gallus, it leans that this is going to be continued, with the Rascals potentially showing up and being backup for him to take on Gallus, whether that's just on normal television or if that's Heatwave. We'll have to see and keep an eye on that. There's been rumors of Gallus potentially going main roster to help out Drew. I don't know. This is all hearsay and podcast other listens to. Oh, I don't know. So with that, I feel like they'd have to pull the trigger quick unless Gallus is going to do double duty. I know Gail Kim was at the show along with the TNA president, whoever owns it. I don't fucking know. Not Scott D'Amore, not Talent Man Tommy Dreamer, but they were at the show. Would have been cool to see them at least like featured on camera, shown as there. I get Ash by Elegance being there. I don't watch TNA week to week, so I don't know what her... I know they've been using her, but I don't know her status in the company of like where she sits on the pecking order. I get it from a WWE audience of like, oh, we know Dana Brooke. Maybe we'll pop for her. No reaction. Why couldn't you give that spot to somebody else from the TNA Knockouts division? Like, oh, you know, them showing up to help out Jordan or whatever it was. Could have done that. You could have had, like I said, ABC show up for the tag titles or at least afterwards. That could have just got a little bit more buzz, made this a little bit more exciting. Overall, it was okay. Kind of hoped for more. I will definitely say the last three matches were the best of them. The women's ladder match was fine. It was good. Tag match was kind of run of the mill. Underground, just not for me. But it was really at the edge of my seat, or rather intrigued with the last three matches. And they did good. And that's always the thing with me reviewing or talking about these pay-per-views. I'm always like, yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was all right. I don't know. While watching it, I'm always definitely a little bit more intrigued and like, whoa, that happened or whatever. I just don't feel like I do a great job in terms of the recap. I'm so sorry. But yeah, looking forward to seeing, like I said, how this continuation of crossovers continues and what the extent of it is. And, yeah, hopefully Ethan Page has some momentum, too, as well as he comes in here. But, yeah. Well, everybody, that is going to wrap up the podcast for this week. My name is Bret, a.k.a. Enigma9011. I appreciate you guys hanging out and giving this a watch and listen today. If you guys ever want to catch the podcast live, you can always go over to twitch.tv/Enigma9011. You can drop a follow over there. You'll get notified when we go live, so you join on the fun and conversation with us. But if you can't catch live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video in MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, wherever you're watching or listening to this, if you drop a follow, sub, a like, a review, whatever it is, it may seem small, but does help the channel grow. So if you take the time to do that, we would love and appreciate you for it. Once again, guys, thanks for giving this a watch, giving it a listen, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.